Hello D1, welcome to another video for our narrative writing book. So today we are on lesson 3. So you're going to go ahead, you are going to grab your notebook and you are going to need a pencil. So if you do not have those supplies right now, you need to make sure you grab them because we are going to be working on it together. And now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to flip my book over. We did lesson 1. We did lesson 2 together, and we decided we were going to write about family vacations. And now we are going to go ahead and move on to lesson 3. So you will see at the top of lesson 3, it says small moments. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read this direction up at the very top. When writing a personal narrative, it is important to choose a small moment to zoom in and focus on. Small moments allow you to focus your story on a specific moment in time using descriptive details. Think of 3 topics or moments that you are interested in writing about. Then focus each topic into a small moment. The first one has been completed for you as an example. And so we are going to go ahead and we are going to do 2 moments together as a class. And then this last moment, when you completely finish, you are going to draw a giant circle around because that is going to be your personal moment that you are going to be writing about. So they have given us an example, trip to beach. Make it a little bit smaller, playing in the ocean. Even smaller, catching the perfect wave. And so we're going to go ahead. We are going to use Miss Walsh as an example, and so my moment is going to be trip to Florida. And I did a lot while I was in Florida. I was in there for an entire week. I was in Florida for an entire week, so a lot happened in a week, and it's just not going to be practical for Miss Walsh to write an entire story about her week in Florida and make sure that I go into lots of details. So my trip to Florida, how I can make that smaller is I can talk about some of the things while I did in Florida. Well, I went to Harry Potter World in Florida. So I went to the little Harry Potter park while I was there. And again, I did a lot while I was there. I spent almost 2 days in Harry Potter World, which is a really, really long time. And I did a lot while I was there. So now I need to even take this, went to Harry Potter World, and make it even smaller. And so for even smaller, I'm going to pick one of the specific rides that I like to go on, and that's going to be my smallest moment. So that way you can use a lot of details when I'm describing it. So even smaller, I'm going to write ride on the Gringotts ride. And so I went ahead and I rode on the Gringotts ride. And so that's what I'm going to go ahead and write as my moment. And make sure, again, if I'm moving too fast, your job is to go ahead and pause the video to make sure that you are following along. And again, you are copying down this moment because this is going to be an example of what my expectations for you are. So my big moment was a trip to Florida. We agreed that is too much to write about, so I made it a little bit smaller and I said that I went to Harry Potter World. Again, that is still a lot to talk about, so I'm choosing to even make it smaller and talk about the time that I rode on the Gringotts ride. And now let's go ahead. We are going to move and do another moment together. I was looking at some of your guys' examples, and I noticed a lot of people kind of talked about Hawaii. So we're going to go ahead. We are going to use that example as well. So my big moment is going to be trip to Hawaii. And again, trip to Hawaii. That is such a big moment in time that I need to make this even a little bit smaller because that's almost too much. So trip to Hawaii, we went to the beach. And again, that is way too big of a moment. What did I do while I was at the beach? I can talk about a lot of the different things that I did at the beach, but one moment that I can talk about that's even smaller than just going to the beach is talking about seeing a sea turtle. So I saw a sea turtle or I should say saw, because that was past tense. So I want to make sure that I'm going past tense. Saw a sea turtle. And again, you can see in this example, I have a big moment, which is my trip to Hawaii. I make it small by talking about how I went to the beach. And then I make it even smaller by talking about how I saw a sea turtle. And so now your job is to take your moment that you are going to write about, which you have told me that you were going to write about in your Google form from yesterday. You told me what moment you were going to bring up. And so you're going to share your moment. You're going to describe how you're going to make the moment smaller, and then you're going to make it even smaller. So we are only talking about one specific moment from your trip. We're not talking about your entire trip, just one moment from your trip. So go ahead, you are going to make your own, and again, you are going to circle it when you're done, so that way you know this is what you're going to write about. All right, D1, that is going to be it for today. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.